Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Tuesday, October 2nd, 2018. I'm Fredicia Liebert. As the Honorable Mark Brantley made the opening statements at the Premier's press conference today, he used the opportunity to congratulate the new Principal Education Officer. Premier Brantley is also the substantive Minister of Education.
Mr. Nella Claxton, as we know, has a wide experience in education, both at the level of early childhood to adult education. She holds a master's degree in adult education from Texas A&M in Texarkana, Texas, and she's been deeply involved in education in the United States. I think she's an excellent choice, someone with the necessary skill set, the necessary training, and she's clearly passionate about education. I want to congratulate Ms. Claxton on her elevation to this role as Principal Education Officer. We know it's a difficult role, it is an important role, and we trust and hope that she will do well in that role. And we thank, of course, Minister Troy Liebert, who leads the Ministry of Education day to day, and his able prominent secretary, Mr. Barrett, for this choice.
Nella Claxton succeeds Palsy Wilkin, who was the Principal Education Officer for the last 5 years.
Mrs. Wilkin, as we know, toiled in the vineyards of education for some 44 years. 44 long years. And so most of us in this room would have been in some way touched by Mrs. Wilkin and the efforts that she would have made. When she had retired and taken her well-deserved rest, we called on her yet again. And it is instructive that based on what I gather, she would serve for 12 years as an education officer and then for 5 years as a principal education officer. Long after she should have been retired and relaxing, we called on her and she came and she gave of her service. And we have to congratulate and thank her. There are no words really that I can express to demonstrate the depth of gratitude for her contribution to education. 44 years. And I want the island to applaud Mrs. Palsy Wilkin for her considerable effort in this regard. Even now, I gather, she is still being called upon to assist, and she has willingly indicated that she is minded to continue to assist because clearly education is in her blood. That is her lifelong ambition and calling. So I really want to go on record to express our deep gratitude to Mrs. Wilkin for her service and to say that she ought to be an example to all of us as to what public service should look like and what we hope at the end of our own careers others will say of us, that we served long, we served well, and we contributed to the development of our country.
Meantime, the Premier reminded that World Teachers' Day will be celebrated on Friday, October 5th.
And I'm told that they have an entire week of activities for our teachers, celebrating a month, of activities throughout the month of October. And so we're asking one and all to go out and support our teachers. They are, of course, as I like to say, in the very heart of our development. If they don't get it right, then nothing else matters. They are the very heart of our development, and we should celebrate them at every step of the way.
Premier and Minister of Education, the Honorable Mark Brantley. 2 bills will be introduced when the Nevis Island Assembly sits in chambers at Hamilton House on Thursday, October 4th, 2018.
We expect to have at the Nevis Island Assembly some statements by ministers. We also expect to have the first reading of 2 bits of legislation, the Nevis Physical Planning Amendment Ordinance and the Nevis Investment Promotion Agency Amendment Ordinance.
According to the order paper circulated by Clerk of the Assembly, Myra Williams, the Nevis Physical Planning and Development Control Amendment Bill 2018 will replace the Nevis Physical and Development Control Ordinance, Chapter 6.09N, and the Nevis Investment Promotion Agency Amendment Bill 2018 will replace the Nevis Investment Promotion Agency Ordinance, Chapter 6.12N. The sitting will begin at 10 a.m. with the formal entry of Deputy Governor General, Her Honor Hailita Liebert, followed by prayers, a motion for approval of the order paper as circulated, messages from the Deputy Governor General, announcements by President of the Assembly, the Honorable Farrell Smithen, papers to be laid, statements by ministers, personal explanations, and the introduction of the bills and first reading before adjournment. The sitting will be the 4th since the Nevis Island Assembly's first sitting in January 2018. Meantime, during today's Premier's press conference, the Honorable Mark Brantley announced that the Nevis Island administration has provided the Honorable Joseph Parry with an office as the member of the opposition.
And I'm delighted today to announce that we have made all of the necessary arrangements and that Mr. Parry now has a fully functional office that the NIA is providing. I believe it's $5,800 per month to support that office. We have staff, a member of staff that has been hired to be his support staff at that office. We've provided computer equipment, we've provided printer, scanner, and the works. I would hope that even our harshest critics would admit that this is a good step forward in terms of the governance structure of the island of Nevis.
Premier Brantley added that he's proud that the NIA has been able to deliver on the commitment.
And I hope that Mr. Parry, if he's listening, is comfortable in this office that has been provided to him and the support that has been given to the opposition. And this is important because from time to time people come into the country, they want to visit the opposition, they want to have a conversation, and there has never before in our history been a space for the opposition to function. Never before. So I am hopeful that our people would appreciate that this is a right step in the right direction to take us where we need to go. And I'm very grateful. I want to commend Mr. Dorr, our permanent secretary, because he worked hard to bring this. And it would have happened before. Let me just say, because I know the critics may say why it took so long. It would have happened before, but the initial spaces that we identified, those spaces were not deemed by the honorable gentleman to be acceptable. And so we had various arrangements made which he did not like, and so we think that this arrangement now is to his liking. I believe he chose the space himself, so if he doesn't like it, he can't blame us.
Still to come.
And it gives me great pleasure now to officially declare the workshop open.
The details after this break.
At a loss as to what's going on in Nevis? Tune into NNC on NTV. Don't worry if you don't have cable either. NNC will bring the news to you wherever you are. Facebook and Facebook Live. YouTube and YouTube Live. NevisTVOnline.com. Roku app, NTV mobile app, Smart TV, Apple TV, and any other IPTV platforms. When me ANC and you ANC, NNC.
Welcome back. Today, Tuesday, October 2nd, the Social Policy and Sustainable Human Development Unit is hosting a two-day Sustainable Development Workshop at the Red Cross headquarters in Charlestown. At this morning's opening ceremony, facilitator Leonard Stapleton gave an overview of the workshop.
The main purpose is to get you familiar with the goals, get you in a position where you would want to take action to reach the targets. And in knowing that these are things that we've been asking for, and these are issues that are actually dear to us, familiarity shouldn't be a problem. What I will do in the first part of this session is remind us that these really are our cries.
Minister of Social Development, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, in delivering remarks, officially declared the workshop open.
And you're here early and you're here in your numbers. It means that you are interested in the topic of sustainable development. And I'm hoping that the interest that you have in coming to the workshop will be filtered out when you go back to the workplace and, of course, out in the community as well. We would like that the word sustainability becomes a household word on the island of Nevis. I still believe that enough persons on the island are not fully aware of what sustainable development means and are not aware of the sustainable development goals. So we are hoping that from this workshop, the word could go out to the rest of the departments and, of course, in the private sector as well. The word can get out to the schools and the word can get out to the general public. We want all hands on deck where sustainable development is concerned. And it gives me great pleasure now to officially declare the workshop open.
The two-day workshop targets persons from the various departments in the Nevis Island administration. Also present at the workshop were Director of the Social Policy and the Sustainable Human Development Unit, Alsted Pemberton, and Senior Policy Officer, Ansem Keynes. The workshop will conclude on Wednesday, October 3rd, with a closing ceremony at the Red Cross headquarters in Charlestown. Junior Minister of Tourism for Nevis, Ricardo Rodriguez, traveled to the Bahamas on Monday, October 1st, to represent the island in the Caribbean Tourism Youth Congress, slated for Thursday, October 4th. During a meeting prior to his departure, Tourism Education Officer Vanessa Webb gave an overview of the Congress.
The Tourism Youth Congress takes the form of it mirrors a CTO board meeting. So the students, actually they're sitting, it's a roundtable discussion, and they are presenting their views based on the topics that they would have chosen. So there are two rounds. One is a prepared speech, and each student will speak for 3 minutes on the prepared speech on the chosen topic. And the second round is an impromptu speech based on a topic that they will get on the morning of the activity. And they speak for 1 minute.
The Tourism Youth Congress will be one of the main activities for the State of the Tourism Industry Conference that the Caribbean Tourism Organization, CTO, organizes each year. The Tourism Education Officer encouraged the Nevision public, including Ricardo's classmates, to tune into the live feed on CTO's Facebook page to give him their support. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, John Hanley, congratulated Rodriguez on being chosen as the representative for Nevis and expressed appreciation to Webb along with tourism specialist Deborah Lelouch, teacher Wando Jones, and Mr. Ansem Keynes, who have been working with Rodriguez.
We have every confidence in Ricardo that he's going to do well when he travels to Nassau, Bahamas. And the team that goes along with Ricardo, we are going to lend him our full support. We're going to make sure that he's well prepared, and we'll make sure that Nevis does as well as we can. And we hope that we will be able to come back with the championship. But whatever the outcome, we will be satisfied that Ricardo has done his best, because we are going to try our best to pay him well. We're going to try our best to support him. Of course, I cannot end without adding the endorsements from the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Premier Mark Branchley.
Meantime, Junior Minister of Tourism for Nevis, Ricardo Rodriguez, spoke about the experience he has had to date.
My experience so far as Junior Minister has been great. I've learned a lot more about tourism that I did not know before, and the various sectors of tourism, such as sports, and different ways you could implement various ideas into the tourism sector and build new things and so on. Going to participate in this year's roundtable discussion. I'm very excited, and I think I'll learn a lot more about other islands and their ideas for their tourism sectors, and I'm excited to meet these new people and my new Junior Minister colleagues.
The contingent representing Nevis includes Youth Junior Minister of Tourism Ricardo Rodriguez, Jones, Lelouch, and Hanley, as well as Devon Liebert of the Nevis Tourism Authority. Nevis won the Caribbean Junior Minister of Tourism Award in 2013 and 2014. That's how we end this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.